What's good, everybody? It's your boy Andy Fade Master, and I'm back once again with another fresh haircut tutorial for you here. And for this demonstration, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him a medium drop skin fade and a pompadour on top.
Andy. Andy Fade Master.
Now I'm gonna take my gold babyless skeleton trimmer and I'm gonna begin to create my first guideline. I wanna leave a little bit of the curve, so I'm only gonna skin to probably about right here. And if you guys will feel, this is exactly where the temple begins to go in. So you wanna make sure that you're skinning it to right about there. You wanna make sure that this first guideline has a nice flow to it. You wanna make sure that it's flowing and it's not going too high in the beginning, too far down, and then wrapping around. So I'm gonna make sure not to bring this line too high above the ear. And now I'm gonna take my magic clip and starting with my lever back, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna start to create my next guideline. So normally, I like to create my first guideline about 1 inch. Now, as you guys know, I'm going in there and I'm doing kind of the same deal that I did with the edger. I'm just going in there and then I'm pulling it away as I get to the top. And all I'm doing is just creating a soft guideline. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the half guard and we're gonna put it on the cordless magic clip with the lever back. And we're gonna slowly begin to lift this higher line. And we're gonna move right into the 1. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to angle the clipper and try to connect this line with that top bulk line. And how I'm gonna do it is I'm just gonna go like this and lift the hairs up. So now we're gonna go in to removing this skin line. So what I'm gonna do is, as I'm removing this line, if this half guard is needed, it can actually act as a 1 if I pull the lever back. So if I see any of the shadows that I need to get rid of before having to go back and keep doing touch-up work, I'm gonna just make sure that I keep this in my hand. So as you guys can see, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my lever all the way up and then I'm gonna slowly start to move it back as I begin to go up. As you see, I may need to close it a little bit more in order to make sure that this meets. And that's just because of the density of his hair. Now here I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna move in a segment. And then I'm gonna slowly start to bring the lever back. And the side, you kind of wanna think of the side as a taper when you're doing it. Now, I'm gonna take the skeleton trimmer from Babyliss and I'm gonna actually go and edge out the front and edge out the sides. I'm gonna make small circles, barely taking off any of the hair. So I'm gonna edge it to where it's at its naturalmost point at the top. And then I'm gonna angle it down just a bit on the bottom. And I'm gonna start directly in the middle. Now, if they have an area such like this, I'm not gonna wanna go too far back. I can always go and remove more hair later, but I can never put more hair back on. I wanna move on to the top, and I wanna show you guys how we're gonna transition the smooth part of the fade and remove the bulk and actually thin out some of the hair and create the pompadour. We're just gonna go in here, and we're gonna hold the clipper completely straight, and I just wanna go over just the tip. So what I'm doing is I'm moving at a tempo, and I'm combing the hair out and cutting the hair in the same tempo. I'm gonna grab my section. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing it and I'm making sure that that little bump gets cut off. and it transitions evenly all the way through. There's a little step here. That little step is what's gonna show out when you blow dry it. So you wanna make sure that you go and you cross-check, you know what I mean? And make sure that you have the actual right shape. I'm actually going to apply a small amount of matte paste. Now this matte paste is going to act as a primer, and it's going to allow me to style the hair a lot easier. I'm gonna start to lay the hair flat. Take some more of that exact same matte paste that I used before the blow dry. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to just apply some product at the top. I'm gonna brush everything nice and down, make sure everything's smooth. All right, guys, so there you have it. You have seen a low skin fade with a pompadour.